Picture this: dealership lots across America packed with rows of shiny, brand new cars, and not a single buyer in sight. We're talking vehicles sitting untouched for 400, 500, even 600 days. Dealers are slashing $10,000, $20,000, sometimes even $30,000 off the sticker, and still, no takers. These aren't just budget beaters or forgotten models. Some of them are luxury sedans that once carried six-figure price tags, and others are fresh electric flagships that were supposed to define the future of driving. Now, they're collecting dust like abandoned relics of a failing experiment. The numbers are brutal. The panic inside showrooms is real, and the financial consequences, for both automakers and unlucky owners, are devastating. Because here's the truth: if a car can't sell new, it won't hold value. That means buying the wrong car today could leave you buried in negative equity tomorrow. In this countdown, we're exposing 10 cars in 2025 that dealerships simply cannot sell. These are the models being rejected by buyers nationwide, despite massive discounts and marketing hype. And trust me, car number one will leave you questioning how an automaker could fumble so badly. So buckle up, because what you're about to see might just save you from making a very expensive mistake. Once upon a time, the Jaguar badge meant elegance, exclusivity, and pure British luxury. Owning one was a statement, a sign you'd made it. But fast forward to 2025, and the Jaguar XF has become one of the most unwanted sedans in America. Right now, dealers are sitting on a 311-day supply of unsold XFs. That's almost a full year's worth of inventory just gathering dust. For Jaguar, the problem is obvious. The brand has already announced its all-electric future, which instantly made the XF feel like yesterday's news. Why would anyone spend $55,000 on a car the manufacturer has basically orphaned? Dealers are slashing $14,000 or more off the sticker just to move them. But even then, many showrooms report the same exact cars have been sitting since last summer. That's brutal. And for current owners, the pain doesn't stop at slow sales. These sedans are depreciating nearly twice as fast as their German rivals. That means thousands of dollars in lost value within just the first couple of years. What was once a premium investment has now become a financial liability, leaving XF buyers with the sinking feeling that they paid luxury prices for economy-level resale value. In other words, the XF is no longer the refined Jaguar that turns heads. It's the one buyers are running away from. The Dodge Hornet was supposed to be Stellantis' big breakthrough, their flashy move into the red-hot compact crossover market. On paper, it looked like a winner: affordable, sporty styling, and Dodge's aggressive branding. But reality? It's turned into one of the biggest flops sitting on dealer lots today. Right now, there are over 12,500 Hornets gathering dust across America. That's a 320-day supply, almost 11 months of unsold inventory clogging up showrooms. Dealers are panicking because every day these cars sit, their value sinks further. And here's the problem that buyers notice immediately: the Hornet isn't really a Dodge at all. It's basically a rebadged Alfa Romeo Tonale. And let's be honest, if nobody wanted the Alfa version, why would they buy the Dodge copy? Customers aren't fooled, and the sales numbers prove it. Some dealerships are so desperate they're practically giving them away. Brand new Hornets, nearly 2 years old, are now being sold for under $24,000. Less than the price of a decently equipped Toyota Corolla. Others admit they're pricing the Hornet below cost just to stop the financial bleeding. But here's the trap: for buyers, what looks like a bargain quickly becomes a nightmare. The Hornet's resale value is plummeting faster than its sticker price, meaning anyone financing one of these crossovers could be stuck in negative equity almost immediately. Imagine owing more on your loan than the Hornet will ever be worth. That's the reality many owners are facing. The Hornet was meant to ignite excitement for Dodge. Instead, it's become the poster child for how to burn both dealers and customers at the same time. Few cars turn heads like the Alfa Romeo Giulia. Sleek, aggressive, and dripping with Italian style, it looks like the kind of sports sedan people dream about. For a moment, Alfa Romeo seemed to have cracked the code: style, speed, and passion all wrapped into one. But here's the cold reality: the Giulia now sits on dealer lots for an average of 329 days before anyone buys it. That's nearly 11 months of unsold cars, a devastating signal about Alfa Romeo's shaky future in the US. The issue isn't how it drives. Owners rave about its razor-sharp handling and responsive steering. The problem begins after the honeymoon phase ends. The Giulia has built a reputation for unreliability, leaving too many owners stranded with sky-high repair bills. And in the luxury market, once your brand gets that reputation, trust evaporates fast. To make matters worse, Alfa recently discontinued the high-performance Quadrifoglio version in North America. That move sent a clear message to buyers. Even Alfa doesn't have confidence in its own flagship model. When a brand kills off its halo car, the entire lineup suffers. Dealers admit it's frustrating. Shoppers come in, test drive the Giulia, love the way it feels, and then head straight to a Lexus or BMW dealership to actually sign the paperwork. Because when you're dropping $54,000 and up, reliability, warranty coverage, and resale value outweigh sharp styling every single time. For buyers who think with their wallets, the Giulia is simply too risky. It may look like a Ferrari's little cousin, but behind the wheel of ownership, it's become one of the most avoided luxury sedans in America. The Jaguar F-Pace was supposed to be a game-changer, the model that would finally cement Jaguar as a serious contender in the booming luxury SUV market. On paper, it had everything: sharp styling, a posh interior, and that iconic British badge meant to stand shoulder to shoulder with BMW and Mercedes. But here's the reality. The F-Pace has become yet another embarrassment for Jaguar. Right now, dealers are stuck with a 336-day supply of unsold F-Paces. That's nearly an entire year of inventory just sitting there, collecting dust. So what went wrong? For one, Jaguar's future feels uncertain. The company has already announced its full pivot to electric vehicles, which makes the F-Pace feel like a dead-end investment. Buyers are asking, why commit $55,000 or more to a car that might be discontinued before my loan is even paid off? And the financial sting doesn't stop there. Owners who did buy an F-Pace are discovering that resale values are plummeting faster than comparable German or Japanese SUVs. Depreciation is hitting hard, wiping out thousands in value within the first couple of years. For luxury shoppers, that's a financial gut punch. Imagine paying premium prices for a Jaguar only to watch its value sink like a base model economy car. No wonder buyers are steering clear. The F-Pace was meant to lift Jaguar into the future. Instead, it's become a symbol of how quickly a luxury badge can lose its shine when confidence evaporates. Jeep built the Grand Wagoneer L to be its crown jewel, a six-figure luxury SUV meant to rival Cadillac's Escalade and Lincoln's Navigator. It was supposed to be the ultimate statement, a Jeep in name, but luxury in every other respect. Instead, it has turned into a nightmare for dealerships. Right now, showrooms are sitting on a 345-day supply of unsold Grand Wagoneer LS. That's almost a full year of brand new, untouched SUVs clogging up lots across America. Even with massive incentives, they're not moving. And the biggest problem is the badge. Luxury buyers dropping over $112,000 want prestige. They want Cadillac, Lincoln, maybe a German SUV, but a Jeep? For most of them, the math doesn't add up. Then there's the brutal cost of ownership. With fuel economy at just 13 miles per gallon combined, these giants burn through nearly $4,500 in gas every year. Even wealthy buyers have limits, and no one wants to feel like they're living at the gas station. Dealers openly admit they've had the same Grand Wagoneers sitting for more than a year. Customers walk in, admire the size, maybe sit inside, then head straight down the street to a Cadillac or Lincoln dealership to actually sign the deal. The Grand Wagoneer L proves something the auto industry keeps forgetting. You can add chrome, leather, and a six-figure price tag, but you can't manufacture heritage prestige overnight. For Jeep, trying to stretch into the luxury world has backfired spectacularly. Maserati hyped the Grey Kale as its breakthrough moment, the sleek, sporty SUV that would finally take on Porsche and BMW. It was supposed to blend Italian flair with everyday usability, opening the brand to a new wave of luxury buyers. But instead of becoming Maserati's savior, the Grey Kale has turned into another cautionary tale. Right now, dealerships are drowning in an astonishing 370-day supply of unsold Grey Kales. That's more than a full year of inventory gathering dust, a disaster for a brand that sells itself on exclusivity. And that exclusivity? It's crumbling fast. When you drop $70,000 to $90,000 on a Maserati, you expect rarity and prestige. Instead, buyers see a glut of Grey Kales sitting unloved on lots, and that kills the image Maserati depends on. Financially, it's a nightmare. Early owners are already watching their SUVs plummet in value, with depreciation curves far steeper than rivals like Mercedes, Audi, or Lexus. Insurance companies know the risks too. which means higher premiums for anyone daring enough to sign the paperwork. For Maserati, the Grayscale was meant to be the future. But for buyers, it's becoming a financial trap, a luxury SUV that looks glamorous today, but leaves you with massive losses tomorrow. Not long ago, the BMW 5 Series was the benchmark, the sedan every rival tried to beat. It was sharp, athletic, and carried the title of the ultimate driving machine with pride. But in 2025, that legend has collapsed. Dealers are now sitting on a staggering 380-day supply of unsold 5 Series sedans. That's more than a year's worth of inventory, a shocking fall for what used to be BMW's bread-and-butter model. So what went wrong? For starters, BMW watered down its DNA. The precise, driver-focused handling that built its reputation has been replaced with tech gimmicks and comfort features that fail to stand out. Enthusiasts feel abandoned, while loyal Mercedes and Lexus buyers see no reason to switch. And then came the recalls. Reports of steering and braking failures on cars costing $60,000 and shattered consumer trust. Nothing destroys the image of a luxury performance sedan faster than safety systems failing on a brand-new vehicle. Financially, the 5 Series has become a minefield. Resale values are dropping, depreciation is accelerating, and insurance companies are charging more to cover the recall risk. For shoppers, the once proud 5 Series isn't just being ignored, it's being actively avoided. What was once BMW's strongest pillar has now turned into dead weight on dealer lots. A painful reminder that even legends can fall when they lose sight of what made them great. The Audi A6 used to be the sweet spot of German luxury. Not as flashy as a BMW, not as conservative as a Mercedes. It was perfectly balanced, refined, and understated. For years, it was the go-to choice for professionals who wanted class without showing off. But today, that formula is collapsing. Dealerships are reporting an eye-watering 490-day supply of unsold A6 sedans. That means many of these cars are sitting well over a year before anyone signs the paperwork. Why? Two big reasons. First, the luxury sedan market itself is shrinking fast. Buyers are flocking to SUVs, leaving sedans to gather dust. And second, Audi accidentally sabotaged its own model. By heavily hyping the upcoming A6 e-tron EV, the gas-powered A6 instantly felt like a lame duck. Why drop $60,000 on a car that might look outdated the moment the EV version rolls into showrooms? Then there's the financial pain. Resale values for the A6 are falling faster than its German rivals, creating brutal depreciation cliffs for owners. Insurance companies see the risk too, meaning higher premiums compared to Lexus or even BMW. For shoppers, the A6 is no longer a smart buy, it's a gamble. And in a market where confidence matters, buyers are steering clear. What was once a cornerstone of Audi's lineup has now become a symbol of just how quickly the luxury sedan market is collapsing in America. At first glance, the Fiat 500e looks like a winner. It's small, quirky, stylish, the kind of city-friendly EV that should thrive in 2025. But the sales numbers tell a very different story. The 500e is now the single most rejected electric car in America, with a jaw-dropping 545-day supply sitting unsold on dealer lots. That's nearly a year and a half of inventory nobody wants. So what went wrong? For starters, the range is a joke. At just 147 miles per charge, it feels hopelessly outdated in a market where buyers expect 300 miles or more. And the price tag makes it worse, around $35,000, nearly as much as larger EV crossovers that offer double the range and far more practicality. Then comes the safety concern. At only 142 inches long, the 500e feels more like a golf cart when you're surrounded by full-size SUVs and pickup trucks on American highways. Many buyers look at it and think, is this really worth risking my safety for? Dealers report these cars sit so long that their tires need to be reinflated just to move them around the lot. That's how little demand there is. And for those who do take the plunge, the financial hit is brutal. Rapid depreciation, higher insurance premiums for such a niche car, and the constant anxiety of running out of range turn the 500e into a wallet-draining liability. In short, Fiat thought style alone would carry this EV. Instead, it's proof that quirky design can't save a fundamentally flawed product. At the very top of this list sits one of the biggest disasters on dealer lots in 2025, the Acura ZD. This was supposed to be Acura's bold step into the future, a sleek, all-electric crossover designed to take on Tesla, BMW, and Mercedes. On paper, it had everything: Honda reliability, Acura luxury, and even a $7,500 federal tax credit to sweeten the deal. But in reality, the ZD has become an inventory nightmare. Right now, dealers are sitting on an almost unbelievable 599-day supply of unsold ZDXs. That's nearly 2 full years of cars just sitting there, gathering dust. For a flagship EV, that's catastrophic. So why are buyers rejecting it? A few reasons stand out. Range anxiety. In a world where competitors push 300 to 400 miles per charge, the ZD just doesn't stand out. Styling. Critics and buyers alike say it blends in rather than turns heads. In the luxury EV segment, that's fatal. Market saturation. With dozens of EVs flooding the market, Acura simply didn't bring enough to the table. And the financial fallout is just as ugly. Early owners are already staring at massive depreciation curves, with values falling faster than rival EVs. Insurance premiums are higher too, thanks to the ZDX's low sales volume and expensive repair risks. Many buyers risk being buried in negative equity almost immediately after purchase. The result? What Acura hoped would be its EV crown jewel has instead become one of the slowest-selling cars in America. A cautionary tale that shows even trusted brands can miss the mark when they overpromise and underdeliver. So, what do these 10 abandoned cars really tell us? It's not just about bad designs or unlucky models. It's about a market where buyers are voting with their wallets, and entire lineups are being left to rot on dealer lots. Think about it. If a car can't sell new, how do you think it's going to hold value used? The answer is simple, it won't. And that means steep depreciation, higher insurance premiums, and the constant risk of negative equity for anyone who signs on the dotted line. From the Jaguar XF, once a symbol of elegance, now a financial liability, to the Acura ZX, a flagship EV collecting dust for nearly 2 years, these vehicles prove one thing. The wrong choice doesn't just cost you at the dealership. It costs you for years afterward. And that's the real lesson here. When you're shopping for your next car, don't just look at the discounts, the flashy ads, or the promises from the automaker. Look at the market day supply, the depreciation trends, and the true cost of ownership. Because the smartest buyers aren't chasing deals, they're protecting themselves from traps. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these abandoned cars shocked you the most? Or worse, did you already buy one? Drop your story in the comments. It might just save someone else from making the same mistake. And if you found this countdown eye-opening, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got more insider car truth the dealerships don't want you to know. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Because in today's market, the wrong car doesn't just hurt your garage. It can drain your wallet faster than you ever imagined.